Case number 9, Voucher as the Voice of the People. The inner-city housing project in Templeton has been condemned. Local gangs have staked their territory, and it is very clear who rules where. Racial lines have been drawn, and teens vie to dominate 54th Street High School's turf in Templeton. The state has approved a voucher program, allotting funds to low-income families to send their children to private schools, which has been added to the school board's agenda in Templeton. The superintendent and school board are not concerned with parents using their vouchers, which would allow them to send their children to St. John's, a private Catholic high school, since only a few parents have been disgruntled and most are seen as apathetic. I work for the district office and have been appointed by the superintendent to meet with a group of dissatisfied parents. Due to the passage of a state voucher system, low-income parents at 54th Street High School have the option to send their children to St. John's, a private Catholic high school. When the new school year commenced, enrollment had dropped by 250 students at 54th Street and increased at St. John's by the same number. The people involved: Mr. Bruno, principal of the 54th Street High School; Wilma Max, a disgruntled mom; In My Backyard, a group of 75 disgruntled parents headed up by Wilma Max; the superintendent, the school board; Harry B., a graduate of 54th Street who launched an aggressive campaign to support the state's voucher system; and me, a district office employee. The place: Templeton, an inner-city neighborhood, flooded with gang violence and low-income families. 54th Street High School, the only public high school in Templeton, a school in need across the board. St. John's High School, a private Catholic high school in the area to which residents of Templeton have been allotted vouchers to attend. The most significant information: after years of ignoring the few disgruntled parents at 54th Street High School and the belief that the majority of them are too apathetic to utilize their vouchers, the principal and superintendent are now faced with an enrollment drop of 250 students. As a district employee assigned to meet with the disgruntled parents of 54th Street High School, I'm faced with several questions. Do I need to develop a relationship with Wilma and her friends? Absolutely. Wilma is the force behind the parents and their involvement in attempting to better the school. Without a rapport with her and her group, the IMBYs, I have little to start with. Since her and her group have been cast aside repeatedly, I have a lot of damage control to do. What information do I take back to the superintendent and the board? I make them hear the parents' concerns. Until their voice is heard, vouchers will continue to be used. They're looking for safer schools, improved academic programs, and better leadership. How will I gather data from the IMBYs that will prove beneficial in developing a plan to keep the parents from sending their kids to St. John's? Well, I need to determine their needs. What do they want to see at 54th Street High School so they will continue to send their kids? What safety concerns do they have, both in the school and on the grounds? What academic areas do they wish to see improvement in? What needs to be added or taken away? How can the principal and other administrators change their daily practices? What do the students see as the biggest problems at the school? Give them a voice. What should be added in terms of extracurricular programs? What needs to be added in terms of college and career readiness? What would they like to see in terms of the physical makeup of the school, a beautification process? What do they see the role of the teachers as being? What other individuals will I speak to regarding my assignment? Well, aside from current 54th Street parents, I plan to speak to current students, graduates, community members, business owners, administrators from other low-income districts who are succeeding, and those who aren't, teachers, and support staff. How will I advise the school board on this matter? Well, the school board needs to know that this is a serious matter, and these parents have valid points. Until actions are taken to improve the atmosphere and programming at 54th Street High School, enrollment's going to continue to drop. What impact could the voucher program have on the school district? Funding that would normally go to the school district is now following the students utilizing the voucher program. The program could also skim off the best students in the district and send them elsewhere. On a positive note, it could create competition for the public school so that they'll begin to improve their instructional programs. Will I develop a relationship with the administrators at St. John's? Yeah, it's important for all school leaders to have open communication. We're all members of the same community with the same focus, to produce capable learners. What will I do if the voucher system develops further to include additional families in the area? I first need to focus on restructuring my school so that I best meet the needs of the population I'm serving. I'll start grassroots organizing with stakeholder meetings to help establish what wants and needs the community has. This information will inform my own school restructuring so that I can focus on keeping and serving the students in my community. Do I believe Mr. Bruno handled the concerns of the community appropriately? Absolutely not. By continually ignoring parent requests to meet and shoving their concerns under the rug, all he did was alienate them and fuel their fire and drive them to leave the school. A strategic plan to address the issue of the voucher program and its impact. First, I plan to consult the state and ask about the legality of public funds being used for religious education. Second, I need to educate the public of the difference between private and public education, accountability and legal guarantees of IEPs and 504s at public schools. Third, I need to form a coalition to determine the best way to handle the voucher program impacts to our community. Finally, damage control needs to occur. How do I get both past and future students attracted to 54th Street High School? This will require a major undertaking. It's all about marketing. Remember Harry B., the graduate of 54th Street who launched an aggressive campaign to support the state's voucher system? Well, he's also a very wealthy businessman who once penned the school as an outlet to drink beer and sleep in class. Perhaps he can get on board and educate the public as to how his education at 54th Street High School led him to great things in life. Get the newspaper involved. Run interest pieces about the school and all the new programs it's offering. Invite colleges to visit and advertise on school grounds. Hold pep rallies and spirit weeks. Make the students proud. Make the community proud. Show everyone why 54th Street High School is what's new in education and why using vouchers to attend private outside schools is no longer optimal.